Welcome back my YouTube channel worth old coin value today. We're going to talk about one of the most interesting and valuable in this coin 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin, a coin that has recently been linked to a mind-blowing value of $3 million. I know what you're thinking. How could a simple 20-cent coin from South Africa be worth such an astronomical amount? Well, grab your magnifying glass, because today we're going to uncover the mystery behind this incredibly rare and valuable. The 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin is part of South Africa's standard coin series, introduced in the mid-90s after the country's democratic transition. This coin features some beautiful, intricate designs, but it's the history behind it that really elevates its value. On the obverse side, you'll notice the portrait of the legendary Nelson Mandela, South Africa's first black president after the end of apartheid, which marks this as a significant historical coin. And on the reverse side, we have the iconic image of a small springbok, which is South Africa's national symbol. The springbok is famous for its agility, and it's been a symbol of the country's strength and resilience for decades. But here's where things get interesting. While most 1997 20-cent coins are still in circulation, there's a rare variety of this coin that's making waves in the collector community. This specific coin was struck in an extremely limited number, and it's that rarity that's led to the coin's high value. Why is this coin so valuable? Well, in 1997, South Africa's mint released a set of 20-cent coins as part of a new series. However, during the production process, a small batch of 20-cent coins was struck with a minor error. And this is what makes them so valuable today. Some of these coins were minted with a unique and rare feature. They were accidentally produced with a double die, meaning that the design was stamped twice on the same coin. This error created subtle differences in the appearance of the coin, making it stand out from other 20-cent pieces. The coins with this error are now regarded as mistakes, and in the world of numismatics, mistakes can be worth a lot of money. Now, here's where the story takes an even more interesting turn. In recent years, one of these error coins surfaced at an auction and completely shocked the numismatic community. Experts estimated the value of the coin at $3 million due to its rarity, the historical significance of the year 1997, and the error it contained. That's right, $3 million. And here's the kicker. This coin wasn't even in mint condition. It had been circulated, so it wasn't pristine. But because of its rarity and the fact that it had the double die error, it commanded such an extraordinary price. What makes a coin like this fetch such a high price at an auction? There are several factors, including rarity, demand, condition, and historical context. But in this case, it was mainly the rarity of the error that made it so desirable to collectors and investors alike. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare, valuable coins in my collection? Well, I've got you covered. Here's how you can spot a potential 1997 South Africa 20 cents error coin. First, you want to look for the double die error. To do this, inspect the design, especially the features of the springbok and the lettering. If you see a slight double outline or a doubled image, that's a sign of the error. Be sure to use a magnifying glass to catch even the smallest of details. Next, check the overall condition. While the coin doesn't have to be perfect, the better its condition, the more valuable it will be. Coins with minimal wear and tear typically command higher prices. What does this mean for the market? Is it just the 1997 20 cents coin that's valuable? Or are there other coins from the same era that are also fetching high prices as well? The coin market has exploded in recent years, and rare coins like this one are driving that growth. Many collectors and investors are actively searching for error coins, particularly those that have historical significance. And South African coins, in particular, have become incredibly popular due to their connection to the country's rich history and the global interest in Mandela-era memorabilia. To wrap things up, the 1997 South Africa 20 cents coin is a prime example of how a small error can create a massive value in the world of numismatics. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin is a reminder that sometimes the most unexpected pieces can hold the greatest value. This coin 1985 South African 5-cent coin. This coin, a piece of history, is not only fascinating but also holds a jaw-dropping value of $2.5 million. Stick around to learn why this little coin can fetch such an incredible amount and what makes it one of the rarest and most sought after in the world of numismatics. Before we delve into the astounding value of this coin, let's take a moment to understand its historical significance. The 5-cent coin was part of South Africa's currency system during the late 20th century. Introduced in 1961 as part of a series of coins to replace the South African pound with the South African rand, the 5-cent coin was designed to be a small, everyday denomination that citizens used for daily transactions. In 1985, South Africa was going through significant political and social changes. The country was under the apartheid regime, and many international sanctions were being placed on South Africa due to its policies. This makes the 1985 coin particularly interesting, as it symbolizes a turbulent period in South African history. Let's now look at the design of the 1985 South African 5-cent coin. On the obverse, we find a portrait of the first president of the Republic of South Africa, Charles Robert Swart, with the words South Africa inscribed around the rim. But what makes the reverse side so interesting is the iconic design of a protea flower. The protea is South Africa's national flower, symbolizing beauty, strength, and resilience. The simplicity of this design hides a great deal of significance and artistry, contributing to the overall appeal of the coin. Now, we get to the million-dollar question. Why is this 1985 South African 5-cent coin worth $2.5 million? There are a few key reasons behind its astronomical value. First, we must consider the rarity of the coin. In 1985, the South African Mint produced a limited number of these coins. However, a rare minting error occurred during production. Some coins were struck with an incorrect design, resulting in a small batch of 5-cent coins with an error that made them highly unique. Coin collectors and numismatists eagerly seek out these error coins, and a flawless example in perfect condition can command incredibly high prices. Another factor contributing to the value is the historical context. As we mentioned, 1985 was a year of significant political unrest in South Africa. Coins from this era, especially those with unique features, are highly prized by collectors who want to own a piece of history. Lastly, the coin's value has soared due to a small number of these error coins being discovered in pristine condition. Finding a 1985 South African 5-cent coin in perfect or near-perfect condition is incredibly rare, and this pristine condition has driven up its value. Over the years, this coin has made its way through various coin auctions and private sales. In recent years, its price has skyrocketed as demand from collectors continues to grow. But how did this coin go from being a simple 5-cent piece to a multi-million-dollar collectible? The coin first gained attention in the mid-2000s when it was spotted in an auction catalog. With a bidding frenzy that caught the attention of numismatists around the world, the 1985 5-cent coin eventually sold for an astonishing price. It's been through several high-profile auctions where its value only continues to rise. For those of you thinking of adding one of these rare coins to your collection, it's important to know how to identify an authentic 1985 South African 5-cent coin. Many counterfeit versions exist, so you must know what to look for. First, examine the weight and dimensions of the coin. Authentic 5-cent coins from 1985 are made from a copper-nickel alloy, so they should have a specific weight and feel. Be sure to measure the coin's diameter and thickness as well. Second, pay close attention to the quality of the design. The engraving on genuine coins is sharp, and the details on the protea flower should be clear and well-defined. If you notice any irregularities in the design, you may be dealing with a fake. There you have it, the incredible story behind the 1985 South African 5-cent coin and why it's worth an astounding $2.5 million. From its unique historical context to its rare minting error and perfect condition, this coin truly represents the excitement and intrigue of coin collecting. Piece of currency. This coin 1986. 1 cent South African coin. But why is this coin worth so much? Stick around as we break it all down and explain how this humble coin became a collector's dream. Let's start with some history. The South African 1 cent coin was part of the country's currency system introduced in 1961 after South Africa became a republic. The coin's design was simple yet elegant, featuring the image of a protea flower, a national symbol of South Africa, on the reverse side. This flower is a symbol of resilience and beauty, and it's fitting that it graces this small but significant coin. Fast forward to 1986, and the 1-cent coin was still circulating, but something remarkable happened that year. The mintage of the 1986 1-cent coin was extremely limited. Only a few were ever made, and even fewer survived in pristine condition. So, what makes the 1986 version so special? Well, there was a significant error in production that year, but we'll get into that shortly. In 1986, South Africa's mints produced a batch of 1-cent coins, but something went wrong. This error was caused by an issue during the minting process, and it led to an extremely rare variety of this coin. Here's the thing. Most of the 1986 1-cent coins are pretty standard, and they aren't worth much. But some feature a die error that makes them highly sought after by collectors. These rare coins were never officially released into circulation, but a few managed to slip through the cracks. These error coins have a unique design flaw that makes them stand out. It could be a misstruck coin, where the reverse image is slightly off-center, or perhaps there's an unusual feature in the design itself. It's the rarity and the uniqueness of these features that elevate the coin's value. Now, let's talk about why this coin is worth so much. The 1986 South African 1-cent coin has a very low mintage, and even fewer are in mint condition. The error variety, which is what collectors are hunting for, is incredibly rare. These rare coins have been sold at auction for tens of thousands of dollars, with one coin recently fetching a jaw-dropping $55. 500. Why is this coin so valuable? Well, rarity plays a huge role. When you combine the fact that only a handful of these coins exist with the demand from collectors, you get a perfect storm of value. But that's not all. The 1986 1-cent coin is a part of South African numismatic history, and owning one of these coins means holding a piece of the country's rich heritage. It's not just about the value in dollars. It's about owning a rare artifact from a time long past. So, if you're lucky enough to find a 1986 1-cent coin in your collection or while metal detecting. How do you know if it's worth the big bucks? Here are a few tips on identifying the rare version of the 1986 1-cent coin. 1. Examine the details. Look closely at the protea flower design. Any misstrikes or errors in the design are key indicators. 2. Check the weight. The normal weight for a 1986 1-cent coin is around 1.8 grams. Any significant difference could be a sign of a rare error. 3. Look for the off-center strike. A die error can cause the coin to be misstruck, giving it a distorted design. 4. Condition is crucial. Coins in mint state or uncirculated condition fetch a much higher value. If you have a coin with very little wear, you could be looking at a potential fortune. Make sure you keep your coins in good condition, preferably in a protective holder or capsule, to avoid any damage. The better the condition, the higher the potential value. Let's say you have a rare 1986 1-cent coin, or you're looking to add one to your collection. How do you go about selling or buying one of these coins? First, I recommend getting your coin professionally graded. A company like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, can evaluate your coin and assign it a grade based on its condition. Once graded, you can sell it through a reputable auction house, a rare coin dealer, or even through online platforms like eBay. But be aware of counterfeit coins, and always work with trusted sources to ensure you're getting the best deal. So, there you have it, the 1986 South African 1-cent coin. A rare and valuable piece of numismatic history, piece of currency. This coin, 1985 2-cent coin. And trust me, this coin isn't just a piece of currency, it's a piece of history worth millions today. Yes, you heard that right, $3 million asterisk. But before we get into the insane value of this tiny copper coin, let's take a trip back in time to understand what makes this coin so special. South Africa, 1985, a time of political unrest, social change, and a country in the midst of a transformative period. It was also a time when coins were still predominantly used in everyday transactions, and the 2-cent coin was part of the circulation in South Africa. So, what makes the 1985 South African 2-cent coin worth millions? Well, it all begins with its rarity and unique history. Let's take a closer look at the coin itself. As you can see, this coin is small, just 2.5 centimeters in diameter. On the obverse, we have the classic portrait of Jan van Riebeeck, the Dutch colonial official who founded Cape Town. On the reverse, we have a depiction of the protea flower, which is South Africa's national flower. Jan van Riebeeck, often considered one of the first major figures in South African colonial history, played a significant role in establishing the Dutch East India Company's base in Cape Town in 1652. His image has been featured on several South African coins. The protea, a symbol of resilience and beauty, represents the diverse natural heritage of South Africa, but the story of this coin is far more than just its design. In 1985, the South African Mint produced a limited number of these 2-cent coins, and here's where things get interesting. Despite its initial low face value, the rarity of the coin combined with its historical significance makes it one of the most sought-after coins in the world today. The coin was only produced for circulation in 1985, and many of them were quickly melted down or lost. Now, not all 1985 2-cent coins are created equal. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. A typical circulated coin can be found for a few dollars, but an uncirculated coin, which hasn't been in circulation and still retains its original shine, can fetch up to $3 million. Yes, $3 million. That's because, in such good condition, the coin is almost like a time capsule preserved in its purest form. To truly understand the value of this coin, we need to talk about coin grading. Grading is the process of evaluating a coin's condition, and the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Coins are graded from poor to uncirculated. The 1985 2-cent coin that has a high grade, meaning it looks almost brand new, can command astronomical prices in auctions. At auctions, rare coins like the 1985 2-cent coin can sometimes break records. In recent years, we've seen rare South African coins selling for millions, and collectors from around the world are constantly on the lookout for these hidden treasures. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I find one of these coins? Well, the chances of finding an uncirculated 1985 2-cent coin are slim to none. These coins are extremely rare, and they don't pop up in regular change. But there are a few ways you can start your search. First, you can scour online auctions and marketplaces. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or specialized coin shops sometimes list these rare finds. Second, visiting estate sales or coin shows could potentially uncover a hidden gem. But always make sure you're dealing with a reputable seller and have the coin authenticated before making any purchases. Authentication is key because there are many fakes out there. Some obvious signs of a counterfeit coin include irregular edges, off-center printing, and odd coloring. If you ever come across a rare coin, get it professionally authenticated before getting too excited. Since its release, the value of the 1985 2-cent coin has skyrocketed. In the late 1980s, the coin was worth just a few cents. But as time went on and fewer coins were available, the value grew exponentially. The turning point came in the early 2000s when an uncirculated 1985 2-cent coin sold for a jaw-dropping amount, nearly $3 million. This sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community, and collectors began to hunt for them in earnest. Now, let's take some time to answer a few of your questions that you've left in the comments. John from Texas asks, what exactly makes the 1985 2-cent coin so valuable? Great question, John. The rarity, the low mintage, and the fact that it's still in such demand among collectors really push the price sky high. And while we're talking about high-value coins, let's take a quick look at some other coins that have become legends in the world of numismatics. From the 1933 Double Eagle to the rare 1913 Liberty Head nickel, coin collectors are constantly chasing the next big find. So, what do you think of this rare and valuable South African coin piece of currency? Thank you for watching today's video and interesting. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Worth old coin value.